Time bomb. Got there for shove ya. I didn't right beside the ticking time bomb. Please, why do you suppose I chose to inside this safe? It's no ordinary safe, it's specially designed. A dynamite explosion won't even scratch it. So in fact, the safe was the only safe place. Precisely. Once you able to go again, I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. So this. I had always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. I just wasn't expecting an invited guest to come along and screw up my plans. Do you mean to say you're planning to blow us all up? No, that was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here to expand in the works. Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face besides the usual eyes, like ears, nose and mouth? God, that looks... I think we have a fairly good idea of what's been going on here now. But what about the two incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Hervey's instantaneous kinesis experiment? And the Great Exhibition, and the Waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the Professor, clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection, after all. That's enough. What's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here. Yes, well, I've decided again, so a forensic investigation team ahead. You know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once. My dear madam, there's no need for such threatening tone, I assure you. After all, that's no way to greet no acquaintance, is it, Dr. Syfe? Hello, Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Syfe. If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sad expression on your face, you're quite misguided. It's really nothing more than a shell, you... Get out! But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Miss Naruhodo? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. Mr. Sholmes, let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. I said, get out! Now, all of you! Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. Understood. I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place, and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There's a time bomb set in here, and that is not disarmed. Inspector! Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Trevor? Ah, so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did disarm that one. Eh? What you... That one? Yeah, you mean... It was an hour later that we heard news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage of the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. To be continued. In other words, we're back to the trial. October, 9:11 a.m. The Old Bailey, the defendant's antechamber. Good morning to you, Miss Navajo. Good morning, Professor. Ready for today's proceedings? I hope so. You should be. You and I, with nothing left to... Good morning, my dear fellows. Oh, Mr. Shulmans, you're here. Why, naturally, a true gentleman stands shoulder to shoulder with his friend in battle at all times. Thank you, I really appreciate it. I'll see you later then. Now, Professor, we really need you to remain calm in the courtroom today. Yes, do try your hardest not to enter the witness stand uninvited again. Yes, I will. I realize it was a mistake, but My dear fellows, I must interject. Are you still here, Mr. Sholmes? What's the matter? Surely you've overlooked some phrase, have you not? Be cast in my direction? Sorry, I don't follow. Must I spell it out? I, the great Sherlock Holmes, the greatest detective of worldwide acclamation? I rose at some ungodly hour to be here now, first thing in the morning. A miracle, you must agree. Well, if I must agree, then... As you know, my sleep is quite impregnable. I just had to employ her whole garment of tactics. Pulled the covers off, shook me, poked both cheeks, punched me and kicked me from the bed. Then she poured a boiling cup of her latest experimental blend on my face and at last I was dead. Oh my, Iris has been busy. Iris doesn't have it in her to go out far. She's too nice. Ah, I sense the spirit of a fellow scientist. One who relishes the infinite possibilities of blending tea. I'm the one worthy of praise here, not Iris. This is my victory. Sorry to cut in. Oh, Inspector Gregson. Good morning. Gregson, my dear fellow, why the grim expression at this lively early hour? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I've been confronted with a grimmer expression here. Dear me, are you going to take that insult lying down, Professor? What? I don't know! Poor Professor. Anyway, here's the paperwork you asked for. What paperwork? Ah, I took the liberty of requesting it yesterday. I have a feeling it may prove useful. You wouldn't believe the hoops I had to jump through to get this brought out of the archives. It's the Professor's autopsy report. Not mass murders? You killed five members of the aristocracy. He was found guilty in a closed trial 10 years ago now. It was all done under wraps, and he was quickly executed soon after the trial. It's all in here. The killer's autopsy report has been entered into the court record. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Inspector. Yes, much obliged, Gregson. That's lowly lot in the yard, and just doing what we can. And Shadow Grey Detective Sholmes, of course. Well then, Professor Harebrain, this is it. Today we're going to lay all this First at last. I wish you the best of luck, Professor. I suppose he'll be in there today, will he? Trevor. Yes, we expect the prosecution to summon him as a witness. I'm so amazed I managed to find him in just one day. I really owe you both so much.
Counsel and the defendant. The trial is about to resume. Kindly make your way into the courtroom at once.
This is it then, the final chapter. Funny, my heart's racing a little. I've not felt this before actually, the strange foreboding, as if something's going to happen in this trial that I'm not ready for. But I can't let that distract me from the only thing that really matters, finding the truth. October, 9:30 AM.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session again. We resume the public hearing of Albert Harebrain, here present, who stands accused of murder. Are the counsels for the prosecution and defence ready to proceed?
The prosecution is ready, my lord. The defence is ready, my lord. As promised, Lord Van Zeeks has his apprentice with him. His apprentice, memory loss.
If I may, Lord Van Zeeks.
Yes? Yes, my lord.
There appears to be someone standing at your side.
Ah yes, my apprentice and assistant. The prosecution believes that these proceedings will see the complexity of this case rise considerably. I therefore instructed my assistant to attend to ensure the smooth running of this trial. And the smooth running of liquid refreshments, by the look of it. The way he holds himself, the way he moves, it couldn't be anyone else. And he's still suffering from amnesia, so there's really nothing we can do at the moment. I know, but oh, this is so very hard. To be honest, it was pretty clear that was Casimir from his reaction when he heard his name being called. If he was anyone else, the name wouldn't have struck a tone with him.
It would appear the prosecution has done a fine job in responding to the demands of the court made yesterday. I understand you have successfully secured the engineer who disappeared from the scene on the day in question?
Yes, my lord. I intend to call him as a witness shortly.
Very good, very good. Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been chosen at random to represent the will of the people in this courtroom today. Are you ready and willing
to see? I find it so very wearing. To take a man's life with a conjuring trick is against the magician's code, not to mention law. Any fake scientist should feel the wrath of God, if you ask me.
We have to listen to what's on both sides of the fence, and, then settle on one. That's it, isn't it?
It wasn't like this in my day. It wasn't like this at all.
If all parties are ready to proceed, you may begin, Lord Van Zeeks.
Before I do, my lord, there is a report I must read to the court. Yesterday, at the Great Exhibition Grounds, the evidence of primary importance in this case, the super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine, which was installed on the experimentation stage, was deliberately destroyed in an explosion affected by an unknown person or persons.
It was what? An explosion?
Yes, it's an outrage.
Yes, I heard this grave news yesterday. Scotland Yard submitted a report to my office in the evening. I've read that the machine was blasted to rivers and the wreckage reduced to ashes in the flames.
I have here a photographic print of the scene taken in the wake of the explosion. It shows what little remains of the machine.
Yes, terrible business.
He did it to destroy the evidence, did he? Not Enoch Trevor.
The court will take this print as evidence, counsel.
Late yesterday afternoon, yeah, whatever is in the middle. The protection afforded to the machine by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act was revoked. However, before further investigation could begin, the invention was obliterated from existence. As such, this will become a very different trial. As it stands now, with no evidence on which to draw meaningful conclusions, the authenticity of the Kinesis machine will remain forever in obscurity.
Indeed. A most unfortunate state of affairs.
However, one thing remains clear. The victim's death was a result of the actions of the accused. Of that, we can be certain. But it was the accused himself who was operating the machine and who ultimately caused its explosion. As Lord Van Zieks rightfully says, this is a very different trial now. The accused accepts responsibility for his part in the events that transpired. He acknowledges that Mr. Asman died as a result of the accident caused by his machine's malfunction. However, unbeknownst to the professor, he was being deliberately deceived by a pair of very clever fraudsters.
Names, counsel, if you please.
The engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, and the victim himself, Mr. Odie Asman. So what exactly were those two men up to behind the defendant's back? The defense intends to expose that information, thus establishing the unequivocal innocence of the defendant.
Thank you, counsels. The positions of the prosecution and defense have been clearly stated. Lord Van Zieks, summon your first witness, please.
At once, my lord. The prosecution calls the engineer, Mr. Enoch Drebber, to the stand. State your name and occupation for the court. Name, Enoch Drebber. Occupation... hard to pin down, I would say. See that black monocle? Yes, why do I feel as though I've seen it somewhere before? Oh, you too? I had exactly the same feeling myself.
Your file indicates that you're currently being investigated in connection with another case. The theft of a Waxwork model, is it? A most extraordinary sounding business.
But that has no bearing on this trial, I assure you. Clear it from your mind. You're familiar with the public experiment carried out at the Great Exhibition some days ago? The accused super high voltage instantaneous kinesis demonstration? Yes, you could say that. I am aware of it. There was a terrible accident, wasn't there? It was you, Mr. Drebber, who constructed the vast machine used in the experiment. Or so investigations indicate. Can you confirm your involvement? Yes, I constructed it in precise accordance with the blueprints, but that's all. And the court will be very interested to hear your thoughts about the machine, I'm sure. An amazing device, if you ask me. The pinnacle of modern science, making instantaneous kinesis a reality at last. What?
Good gracious, do you mean to say that the experiment was bona fide? Is that your belief, sir?
Yes, that is very much my belief. Such a waste. But we've already established the machine was nothing more than a prop for an elaborate conjuring trick. You've established nothing of the sort. All that was shown during yesterday's proceedings is that the same outcome could have been produced by means of stage trickery. The defense merely proposed the method and demonstrated its feasibility. Nothing more. But...
You've procrastinated long enough, I feel. Witness, you will now give your formal testimony about the machine that you constructed for the purpose of the demonstration and the Great Exhibition.
Understood. I met the young professor approximately 1 year ago through Mr. Asman's introduction. He provided me with the blueprints and I constructed the machine to its precise specifications. It was no trick. The whole show was a fraud. It would have required a body double. Tell me, did the victim have a twin? All the spectators saw the birdcage appear before their heads and then crash headfirst into the crystal tower. A terrible accident, I grant you. Perhaps the science on which the machine was built was flawed somehow? A body double? That goes without saying, surely. It gave the impression that something has moved when in reality it hasn't. It's a basic conjuring principle. The deception cannot be achieved without substituting the original with a fake at some point in the performance. But would I be right in saying you haven't managed to establish anything along those lines? Incidentally, the prosecution has confirmed that Mr. Osmond had new twin siblings.
It's my understanding that this witness is well versed in conjuring artfulness. But such talents do not indicate that he was actually able to accomplish what he claims. Namely, the construction of what, by all accounts, must have been an extremely complex scientific machine.
Whatever do you mean?
Yesterday's proceedings brought the true nature of your past exploits to light, Mr. Trevor.
Indeed it did, my lord.
As a swindler, you preys on innocent scientists to elicit government grant money through conjuring know-how.
Yes, it's true that I possess considerable knowledge of stage magic. Crucially, my scientific knowledge more than matches that of any academic in the field. Investigation of the witness's workshop tests that claim, my lord. As evidence, the police found this Royal Society trophy for young talent in science now. Yes, that's true, we spotted it ourselves. If our hypothesis is sound, it can always be forged into a physical manifestation with sufficient skill. Though I may have sold the secrets of some deceptive wiles to snivelling talentless scientists in the past.
Would you therefore assert that the explosion of the machine was
useless science?
Counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, please.
Yeah.
Hold it!
So you were already acquainted with Mr. Osmond himself? Not really. By chance I'd seen his name mentioned in the papers, that's all. I had no interest in his private affairs. If he was an unscrupulous investor, it was no concern of mine. As long as people pay their bills, I pick up my tools and construct what they ask for. So why did Mr. Osmond approach you in particular? Who can say? I presume because my name is associated with excellence in engineering. Not to mention excellence in fraud. Hard to gauge, but the point is, all I did was construct the machine according to the blueprints I was given. In other words, the case of the machine was built on solid scientific principles. Yes, you might say that. Professor Heverin certainly has mind like no other.
Hold it!
It's clear that you have both scientific knowledge and knowledge of conjuring magic, however. The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to handle whatever comes along. What your implication is that I've furnished the machine with some trickery, I think. It's a possibility that we have to explore. Unfortunately, though, the machine has been blown to Kingdom Come. So there's really nothing left to explore, is there? It appears that the Kinesis machine was fitted with a timed explosive device of some kind. And there's nothing left on that device either. Not a single shred of evidence remaining, I hear. Must have planned all this from the outside. But in any case, it's abundantly clear that the experiment couldn't have been a trick.
Hold it!
Of course, that's it. That's not how you phrase it.
Objection!
Perhaps my learned friend wasn't listening earlier. Mr. Osmond had no twin siblings. No, I heard you before. But the thread of hope hadn't quite left me. Demonstration could have been a trick if there was somebody who looked sufficiently like the victim. Dr. Syfe absolutely ruled now as a possibility. So it can't have been orchestrated using someone who looked identical to Mr. Osmond then. What are you thinking, Miss Naruhodo? Oh, no, nothing. Just had the idea of someone who looked identical to the victim. It's playing on my mind. I've got a hunch I'm saving it here in case it's wrong.
Objection!
Nope.
Hold it!
It crashed head first, you say? According to the main witness reports from those there at the time, yes. Were you not there at the exhibition grounds on the day? Unlikely. I rarely leave my workshop. Where? Oh, in that case. Yet another of your unique inventions was found at the scene. Well, it was the unveiling of a machine I'd laboured over for many months. I saw it clearly with my own eyes, the birdcage plummeting headfirst into the tower. What a surprise. I believe the victim's neck was broken from the headlong fall, wasn't it? How would you have come by that information? Even an infernal recluse like me reads the newspapers, you know. According to the reports, 2 injuries were apparent on the victim's body. Yes, he'd been stabbed in the chest by a screwdriver believed to belong to the defendant. And he had broken vertebrae as a result of a fall from a considerable height. Correct. My learned friend has been doing his research, it seems. Do we know which injury was a fatal one? Sadly not. Forensic science is not yet at a level where such things can be determined. What we do know is that the victim died having sustained both injuries at some point during the experiment. Since he was found in the birdcage with his neck broken, it's obvious that he fell from considerable height. I suppose that's hard to deny.
Hold it!
So you understood the science, did you? Not in the slightest. Oh, right. As I've said a number of times, I'm an engineer. My job is to manufacture according to the blueprints I'm given. I've been inviting manifold problems if I foolishly allowed my brain to digest the ideas behind them. I could be accused of stealing those ideas, for example. But how is it possible to construct a machine without really understanding the principles it relies on? God, as you might not even use my train of thought now. Well, you're practicing law without really understanding the principles it relies on, aren't you? Very good point. Stand up for yourself, Miss Naohodo. The point is, the experiment resulted in instantaneous kinesis taking place. As such, science must be sound. Yes, and really, experimental results are all that matters when it comes to proving a hypothesis. He's certainly very sure of himself. What do you think, Miss Naohodo? Well, now that the machine has been completely destroyed by yesterday's explosion, it's going to be impossible to argue its authenticity one way or another. Unable to establish it as a piece of stage trickery rather than genuine science, and have no grounds on which to demonstrate Professor Headbane's innocence. Both Mr. Osmond and Mr. Mandelstein tricked the professor and used him. They took advantage of his naivety and his unbending belief in his work and won't let him get away with it. And seeing as the professor is no friend of Lord Zeke's, what on earth must he be feeling towards Trevor? Okay, so since there was nothing new established there, no.
Objection!
Nope.
Objection! Objection!
Objection!
Objection! Objection! Hold it! Objection! Take that!
Objection!
Take that! Take that!